Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No.
Don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
Is it time yet for BlackRock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients.
It's not an institutional thing yet.
It's far from that. As I said, it's much more of a speculative platform for Asia, and it's heavily used for money laundering. Just yesterday, we launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF. I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin.
I was going to say, did that surprise you?
That surprised me how much that. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. My opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 for Bitcoin.
Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, with a net worth of over $1.2 billion, managing this company that has over $10 trillion in assets under management, was lying to everyone repeatedly when asked about Bitcoin, his clients' interest in Bitcoin, when he knew what was about to happen. We posted this on our Altcoin Pro Twitter. If you guys want to follow us, it's altcoinpro_. Watch out for fake accounts. But we said pay attention to what they do, not what they say. And this post blew up with over 66,000 views, 4,800 likes, because everyone is tired of the elite lying to them. And just recently, watch as Larry Fink is now admitting that he was completely wrong about Bitcoin.
Now, I know you have been a leader in willing to embrace crypto. You have made it so that people can be in Bitcoin. We hear that you are thinking about Ethereum. These are incredible things. Now, BlackRock is not known as a gunslinger by any means. So you obviously must believe that this maybe is an alternative. Is this an alternative in order to be able, because of a deficit, maybe something long-term people should have?
Absolutely. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument.
So respect for him for at least admitting that he was wrong. And the key word is he studied it and he learned about it. The highest level of ignorance is to reject something you know nothing about. And over the past year, BlackRock and other banks have been secretly investing records amounts into Bitcoin. And while the SEC was busy suing Binance, Coinbase, and other companies under Gary Gensler's reign, BlackRock and the biggest banks and US corporations were silently buying records amounts. And if we look at the largest holders of MicroStrategy stock, which is primarily dependent on Bitcoin with Michael Saylor, we can see some big banks have been buying huge amounts ever since 2023. We had the Vanguard Group, BlackRock, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Fidelity. And while the whole industry was going through Operation Choke Point 2.0 that Trump just announced a couple days ago that they are ending the war on crypto, well, why were all these banks buying stocks correlated to the Bitcoin price, considering the fact that there was no ETF in the US? Buying MicroStrategy was the easiest way for some US investors to get exposure to the price of Bitcoin. It's because of what Larry Fink was doing, not what he was saying. So in this video, we're going to uncover exactly what he's doing next and how it's happening again, not for Bitcoin though, but for the next major move that they're about to make that they don't want anyone to know about. And what does it have to do with real world assets, Ripple's XRP, SWIFT, Ondo, and tokenizing US treasuries? Because I'll tell you what, guys, I have seen a lot in the crypto market over the past 9 years, but this takes the cake. You're going to love this video. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, let's run it.
If you're frightened of your debasement of your currency, or you're frightened of your economic or political stability of your country, you could have an internationally based instrument called Bitcoin that will overcome those local fears And so I'm a big believer in the utilization of that as an instrument. And so if that becomes true, and you see that it could be a proper hedge against maybe hope securities or equities. Yeah. The question is, could you see a 2 or 5% allocation? I was with a sovereign wealth fund during this week, and that was the conversation. Should we have a 2% allocation? Should we have a 5% allocation? If everybody adopted that conversation, but it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 per Bitcoin.
And the next step for the crypto industry is what he says right here on CNBC.
I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks.
And he's not just said this one time, he's going on tons of different interviews and saying it over and over and over again.
But crypto is going to play a big role. Digitization of currency, digitization of everything we're doing. I'm a big believer, and this is one thing that will change Bloomberg even. I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks. Coming. And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
And we've identified those winners and losers, and I'm going to share them with you towards the end of this video, so hang tight. I know you guys are going to absolutely love this. Because the real-world asset industry in terms of total value locked just crossed $10 billion according to DeFi Llama, ranked at number 7, and this is going to continue to climb as more money piles into the crypto market. And in less than a year since launching, BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF is now larger than its spot gold ETF, which is the fastest in history. So with Larry Fink saying that he saw no institutional demand, no demand from their clients, but yet it broke all records, can you guys see the mismatch there on why he was just BSing the general public? And so that's why I make these videos for you guys, so you can uncover the truth of what's actually going on, so you can make more money by knowing where the future of finance is heading.
April 15th, 2025. This is a huge date because it's the deadline for 2 high-paying tax credits that you probably haven't heard about, but you can still get if you take action right now. We've partnered with the relief consultants who are experts in the tax code who've recovered over $100 million for their clients so far. So if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, listen up so we can get you help and reach our goal of recovering $10 million for the Bull Runners community before the April 15th deadline. So here's how it works. If you're a business owner who had employees in 2021, then you qualify for an average $150,000 check from the Treasury and possibly more with the Employee Retention Credit Program. So if you were told in the past that you don't qualify, get a second opinion now through the link in the description below this video, because there are rules and regulations that have changed just recently. So there's a high likelihood that you do qualify now. And if you sold your business or you shut it down, you still qualify as long as you were active in 2021. So don't miss out. Schedule an appointment with the link below. Just click business owner with employees if it applies to you. There's also a second tax credit that also ends April 15th. So this is for the bull runners who are self-employed in 2021. So if you were a 1099, not W-2, and self-employment was your primary income, the Treasury check for this tax credit can go up to $32,220 with an average of $17,000. So if you were self-employed in 2021 and want to see if you haven't claimed this credit, which nobody has from our community thus far for some strange reason. We've been talking about this in several videos. I don't know, man. Maybe you just want the Treasury to keep your money. But if you want to get money back in your pocket, then schedule a consultation. Don't be lazy. Do this right now before April 15th through the link below. Just click self-employed if you think you qualify for both credits. Let the rep know on the call. And by the way, if you have your tax returns from 2020 and 2021 for this credit, it will be a faster turnaround for you. So have them ready on your call, and they can literally tell you if you qualify on your first call to get you paid. So if you need more money back in your pocket for this bull run, take action right now, click the link, and let's get you paid.
And these types of programs are amazing, guys, because virtually nobody knows about them. So we're able to discover them to help businesses get money back. For example, the Visa MasterCard one that we shared with you, we got businesses qualified to receive back up to $5.8 million that processed $387 million in credit card volume. And it's basically just free money back in their pocket to be able to accumulate their favorite assets because of what's about to happen next that I'm going to share with you right now. Check this out. Larry Fink was asked this a while ago, and it's important that we pay attention to his reaction here.
How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't. And you don't want me to.
I do.
Well, I can't.
So he didn't say no. He didn't say I don't know. He didn't say we'll see. He said I can't. That's extremely important there because one of the main reasons why someone can't talk about something is because they're on an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. And if you guys read the transcripts from the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, there was 1,700 contracts, and a lot of them were under non-disclosure agreements by Ripple, which transferred XRP to contractual counterparties in a variety of commercial transactions. So is BlackRock one of them? Well, I'm not going to confirm or deny them because Larry Fink can't talk about it. So you guys can put 2 and 2 together there. But look at this. Here's Brad Garlinghaus's response about an XRP ETF.
So you would welcome an XRP ETF then?
We would certainly welcome it, and I think it's inevitable that there'll be, multiple ETFs around different tokens. And I think you'll even see ETFs potentially around baskets that also, I think, further diversify that risk.
Are you in talks with the largest issuers, particularly BlackRock, to get this done?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that.
So he says he's not going to comment on it. That means it's happening, guys. It doesn't take any expert in body language here to read through Brad's deflection here.
I know BlackRock has said some things publicly. We think it makes sense for the XRP community overall. Ripple obviously is a very important stakeholder in the XRP ecosystem, but we're not the only player.
That basically means that BlackRock is another major player. He just can't say it because of the non-disclosure agreements.
And look, we've seen, before the SEC lawsuit, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. I think because of the headwinds of that lawsuit, we've now seen that largely abate. But the long-term view on these things is about, how do you create utility and really solve real-world problems with these different digital assets?
And this is why we got people like Rosie Rios, who's the 43rd treasurer of the United States, joining the board of Ripple. Her name is basically printed on your $100 bill. Listen to this.
Crypto has been in the news time and time again, and I just want to share that I am on the board of Ripple. Ripple is XRP. And so when people ask me the question, why did you join the board of Ripple? I joined the board of Ripple because XRP serves a purpose. It's a function that facilitates cross-border payments. It's not some store of value, kind of arbitrary value that is not pegged to anything. This is actually what legitimate financial institutions use specifically for cross-border payments. So instead of days and dollars, it's seconds and cents. And that is the future, in my opinion.
So if Larry Fink's next focus is on tokenizing real-world assets, and the real-world asset industry is absolutely exploding within crypto, well, we made a video about this a little while back about Ripple and Ondo Finance bringing OUSG tokenized US treasuries to the XRP ledger with 24/7 minting and redemption using Ripple's stablecoin, and Craig Phillips becoming a director at Ripple, bringing more than 35 years of experience to Ripple, leading roles at Morgan Stanley and BlackRock, and recently served as the counselor to the Secretary of the Treasury, Stephen Munich, where he oversaw regulatory framework development for the financial system under Executive Order 13772, as well as efforts to enhance the financial sector's cybersecurity through the Office of Critical Infrastructure Protection and Compliance Policy. So it sounds like a pretty important role to me, and now that he's a director at Ripple. And if we look at Executive Order 13772 on the Federal Register website, it says core principles for regulating the United States financial system. And under Section 1.A, it says empowering Americans to make independent financial decisions and informed choices in the marketplace, save for retirement, and build individual wealth. So you're telling me if this guy is a director at Ripple and he oversaw regulatory framework for this executive order, and they're talking about saving for retirement by allowing people to make their own independent financial decisions, and Donald Trump is a massive crypto bull that added XRP, Cardano, and ADA as the 3 altcoins. I mean, come on, guys, what more do you need to see? Plus all the other stuff that we've been talking about over the past 4 years. And some people say that I'm biased here. Again, I provide no financial advice, no investment advice. I just provide the facts, the information, the news, so you can make your own educated decisions. I'm not going to tell you to buy anything or sell anything. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing, which is researching the market every single day so you guys can watch these videos to come to your own conclusion. And one thing that's crazy that just happened recently is BitTrue posted this saying, just in, SWIFT is working on an agreement to use XRP for cross-border payments with billions of XRP secured in escrow as liquidity reserves. Now, they recently deleted this, but this account right here, Koga Crypto, captured the screenshot of it. And if we scroll down here as well, it looks like this account captured the screenshot as well too and had more engagement. So why would they delete it? Also, Watcher Guru posted the exact same thing and then deleted it as well. So if Watcher Guru copied from Bitrue or Bitrue copied from Watcher Guru, because I'm in the content space, we do cover a lot of other people's content. So we don't know whether that's true or not. I just find this very interesting that both of these accounts shared this roughly around the same time, then deleted it. Something's off here. And what's even weirder is Swift's official website that we can confirm by going to swift.com posted this document right here saying how we're enabling a seamless payments experience for corporates around the world on the 20th of March. And if we scroll down here, look at what they're talking about, guys. Standardizing payments with ISO 222. XRP is ISO compliant. So a lot of people are focused on XRP ETFs being a big catalyst, but look, there's a lot of other catalysts that these companies are on NDAs they can't talk about that are going to be dropped within the next 6 to 12 months. And if they announce Swift having some of XRP in escrow to handle cross-border payments with billions of XRP secured as liquidity reserves, that is absolutely massive. It reminds me of this video right here.
Swift is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., NOSTA reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with crypto, though, is where Swift would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, but payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement of the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace Swift. Ripple is one of the complementary networks which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that Swift are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the Swift network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
And if we look at the XRP, the US dollar price chart, well, XRP's price is not doing too much. It's getting rejected from this descending resistance, still in this downtrend since the middle of January. Now, we went through this back here from May of 2017 until December of 2017, where XRP consolidated between support and resistance for roughly 210 days before breaking out. So if we were to just measure from this first major breakout point right here on the peak of the 2nd of December to where we're at right now, we're 109 days. So this could last another 3 months, guys. And in my opinion, based on what I talked about in my video yesterday, with the Federal Reserve keeping interest rates steady for another meeting, they would need to drop interest rates, add to their balance sheet, and M2 would need to increase in order for the whole crypto market to increase, because all of this bullish news happening about the lawsuit ending, XRP being added to the reserve, and a potential XRP ETF coming with BlackRock accumulating XRP behind the scenes, not moving the price at all. And the price has just been in a washing machine between, $1.90, $2.90, dropping all the way back down to $1.80, and now sitting at $2.40. My expectations for the market is exactly what happened all the way back here during this period over the next few months. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear, because they want XRP to go to the moon tomorrow, but this just gives you more time to accumulate as much as you can afford to lose, obviously. Don't invest your life savings. And that's not financial advice, that's just common sense there. But anything that happens between resistance and support is irrelevant until global liquidity increases. So we need to see XRP clear this descending resistance right here. And then the next stop is roughly $2.90. And if it gets rejected from $2.90, we could see it coil up over the summer, similar to what we went through right here between the 23rd of August to the 24th of September, where XRP just sold off back down to this descending resistance before bouncing back again to the upside to about 28 cents, getting rejected again, then coming back up to test again, getting rejected again, and then bam, massive price pump right here in December of 2017. Now, it's anyone's guess when XRP will see the next breakout in the market, but we can use some other indicators and charts to give us an idea on what would need to take place in order for that to happen. For example, Bitcoin's dominance percentage would be another main chart right here, because Bitcoin's dominance is still at 61%. And if we zoom out here on the weekly chart, when alt season happened last time, if I were to just pair up Bitcoin's chart on the top of the screen right here with XRP on the bottom of the screen, you can see the last 2 bull runs, Bitcoin's dominance needed to drop in order for XRP to break out and rally. Even this rally from February of 2017 until May of 2017, right before that 200-day consolidation period, Bitcoin's dominance was in a downtrend the entire time. And there were short-term periods where when XRP consolidated for those 200 days, Bitcoin's dominance bounced to the upside because liquidity flowed out of XRP and out of other altcoins and into Bitcoin. Then we had a final sell-off event for Bitcoin to the downside on that blow off top. And so we're in an environment where XRP is broken out from like 46 cents, 50 cents to between $2 and $3 now, and Bitcoin's dominance is still up here. So arguably we haven't even seen the pump for XRP yet, guys. When this pump happened for XRP back in 2017, right here from February until May, that was when Bitcoin's dominance was breaking down. Even for 2021, the pump that happened right here from 19 cents to $2.05 was when Bitcoin's dominance was falling. And so Bitcoin's dominance hasn't been falling, and XRP's up from 50 cents by nearly 5x right now. So that's actually a good sign, in my opinion, that we still have yet to see the major move for XRP to the upside, because I would want to see Bitcoin's dominance come down by at least 10 to 15% to show me that we're finally in alt season, because what we've seen thus far for altcoins is nothing. And I'm just sticking to my thesis that the markets are going to top out in Q3 or Q4 of this year. So we still got some time. I mean, it's March. We got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, potentially December. So up to 9 months left in this bull run. It could end sooner. And that's why we're going to make more videos on this channel for you guys, covering what's happening with Bitcoin right now, because we do need to see Bitcoin break out in order for altcoins to do well. If Bitcoin just continues to bleed out, altcoins are going to suffer even more. But if we have a V-shaped recovery for Bitcoin, and we break through this resistance at roughly $91,000 to $93,000, which acted as support all through this area right here, this is going to be a strong resistance. If we can clear this and hold it as support and do something like this, that would be a great sign. If we don't, and we do something like this and we just see a weak pump up to the resistance and consolidation at it, I'm not going to be bullish on the market until we clear that, because Bitcoin's price could come back down for a double bottom and then struggle to work its way through this range right here and then coil up. And a lot of people would be even more fearful right here because they think there's going to be another liquidation to the downside. So we just need to see Bitcoin clear this zone of resistance right here. Otherwise, momentum is in favor of the bears, because we're just forming lower highs and we're forming lower lows right now. And looking at the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, you can see global liquidity in yellow at the top and the price chart for all altcoins in market cap right now sitting at $1 trillion. Well, right here in April of 2023, global liquidity topped out right here and then just consolidated for a while the markets consolidated and followed global liquidity. Even right here with this pump up on the 13th of July for global liquidity, it matched the pump up in the altcoin market. So the altcoin market is fairly correlated to global liquidity. However, there's been something that's happened just recently. For example, right here from the 1st of October, global liquidity peaked out, but yet the altcoin market was selling off while global liquidity was breaking out. So it was becoming decorrelated for about 67 days while global liquidity sold off. Then the altcoin market pumped up. And so just recently, from the 11th of January to where we're at right now, global liquidity has actually broken out and it's pumped up for the M2 global liquidity index chart right here. But yet the altcoin market has been selling off. So are we going to see a reversal now where global liquidity starts to come back down a little bit and then the altcoin market starts to break out to the upside for a recovery rally? We shall see. But the best thing that we can all do while the markets are down is look for the best deals to accumulate, because you don't make your money buying high, you make your money buying low. For example,
our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1, 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.